If you're trying to file a workers' compensation claim in North Carolina and you've reported it to your employer and your employer refuses to notify his insurance company, you may have several different options in order to pursue this further. First and foremost, you're going to have to try and find out who the insurance company is if the employer won't provide you with that information. There's a couple of different ways you can do this. You can do this via the internet. If you go to the Industrial Commission of North Carolina's website, which is www.icu.nc.gov. And if you scroll down on the front page, you can see that there is a place that you can obtain the information with putting in the employer's name and then also the date that the injury happened. And that should provide you with workers' compensation information, and you can contact the insurance company directly. If you can't find it via the internet, then you can always call the Industrial Commission and ask them who the workers' compensation carrier is for your employer. And then that way you can reach out directly to the insurance company and bypass your employer if they're failing to report it. Unfortunately, if your employer is failing to provide you with the information or allowing you to file the claim or not filing it on your behalf, generally there's an issue of some sort that the employer is trying to avoid. One of those issues that we often see is that there is no workers' compensation insurance with the employer. And what I mean by that is for some reason or another, the employer is supposed to have workers' compensation insurance and they don't. And that's why they're failing to file it, is because they really don't have anybody to file it with. We see that. And if that happens to you, give us a call and we'll talk about what we need to do in that situation. Additionally, one of the other problems that we run into is when you ultimately find out who the insurance company is, if there is an insurance carrier for your employer, there has been a significant time delay between the employer refusing to file the workers' compensation claim and then your notice to the insurance company. The longer that gap is, the longer the period between the date of the injury and when that claim is ultimately filed with the insurance company, we've practically seen that it is more difficult for the injured employee to work with the insurance company, because the insurance company immediately contacts the employer to try and determine why the claim was not properly reported. And usually the employer is in some type of circumstance as to tell the insurance company why or for what reason they did not properly report it. Unfortunately, often what we see is that the employer will give them inaccurate information as to why it was not properly reported. And they most generally say that, well, the employee never reported it to me, because the buck has passed from one individual to another, and the employer does not want to provide the truthful information to the insurance company. And so we end up in a circumstance to where you have two different entities that are contesting as to how the claim was reported. Was it properly reported? So if you run into a situation where your employer doesn't want to file a workers' compensation claim, at that point, you're going to want to get the Industrial Commission involved, or you're going to want to get an attorney involved to help you with this claim.